Warwick's lore for 2xKO. I don't know how much lore 2xKO fans know. Anytime we release a new game, it brings in a new player base. From Vander to Warwick, the uncaged wrath in 2xKO. So we're going to go through the lore of Warwick and his connections to a lot of his abilities that are already in place in League of Legends, as well as, just his overall lore. So the man and the monster. Warwick is one of Runeterra's most tragic figures, a man transformed into a beast, haunted by fragment memories of a life he can no longer grasp. He is both the monster who stalks the alleys of Zaun and the man who once fought to protect its people. With his reveal for Riot Games' upcoming fighting game 2xKO, we see a chapter whose very move is steeped in the brutal history, blending the narrative of League of Legends with the fan-favorite portrayal of Vander from the hit series Arcane. And this is, the Warwick in 2xKO is actually the Warwick post-Arcane. We're seeing Warwick's story continue, and no one's I don't know why no one's talking about it. This is the next part of Warwick's story that we're seeing in Arcane. Same with Jinx. This is, everything in 2xKO is post-Arcane, so the story continues, and they're clearly alive. The article delves into Warwick's lore, exploring the painful transformation, the connection to his life as Vander, and how his feral abilities, and it has been masterfully translated from the MOBA to the fighting game Arcane. Those are some of the models. So the lore of the uncaged wrath. Warwick's official biography paints a grim picture of a man who tried to escape a violent past, only to be forcibly dragged into a monstrous new existence. Originally a gangster in Zaun, he attempted to live a better life, but his past sins caught up to him, leading him to the laboratory of a mad scientist, a mad chemist, Singed. And you can literally see Vander hung up back there, and this is Singed working on him. According to and don't forget, Singed, he wasn't just doing it for fun. Singed was experimenting on Warwick. His whole goal was to save his daughter. And, Vander was just a tool to get to that point, to be able to discover the methods to save his daughter. According to his biography on the League of Legends Universe page, though many think of Warwick as no more than a beast, buried beneath the fury lies a mind of a man, a gangster who put down his blade and took up a new name to live a better life. But no matter how hard he tried to move on, he could never escape the sins of his past. And that really, that goes well with the Arcane story. It matches perfectly with the Vander putting down the past. We know he put it down for Vi and Jinx to raise them, and in his honor of his friend. I always forget their mom's name, but yeah, so the lore still fits. Singed's experiments were agonizing and transformative. He fused Warwick's body with machinery, pumping alchemical rage through his veins to unlock the deadly beast hidden within a good man. The goal was a forced transmutation, reshaping him with pneumatic claws and a chemical chamber on his back that floods his system with fury in response to rage, hate, or fear. The process shattered his mind, leaving only fractured memories and an insatiable hunger for blood. But death proved to be the true catalyst needed for Warwick's transformation. So basically Singed in the lore really fails, in at least the lore that's on the lore page. Singed fails in his transformation of Warwick and literally just discards him, throws him onto a pile of junk heap, thinking Warwick's just, the man died, there's nothing left, that's it. It's not like in Arcane where he just pops out of nowhere. There's a slight delay there, where after Singed finishes experiments, he thinks Warwick died, but he throws them onto a garbage pile, really. But death proved to be the true catalyst needed for Warwick's transformation. As he lay cooling atop a pile of corpses, the chemicals could finally complete their work. By the time his heart started beating once again, the man Warwick had been and the lives he'd lived were gone. He awoke to hunger. Everything hurt. Only one thing mattered. He needed blood. Now he hunts the criminals of Zaun, driven by the scent of blood that reminds him of his own tainted past. He is a killer who hunts other killers, a beast forever wrestling with the ghost of the man he once was. The short story, If They Run, showcases his eternal conflict perfectly, as he uses a young girl as bait to lure his true prey, all while fighting the urge to give in to his own bloodlust. The fact that he's able to control himself in that story shows that Vander is still very much in Warwick. And if we ever see Warwick again, which we do in 2xKO, we can see that Vander is still there in a lot of the voice lines. This is called The Wrath of Zaun. It's a great cinematic. It shows Warwick hunting in Zaun. I can show you guys a little bit of it. Such a good cinematic.
I told you this was a bad deal, man!
Shut up and move!
Such a good cinematic.
Which way?
Over here! On your mark!
I see it! I see it! We're almost there, man! Let's go!
Man, you feel it in this one. You feel like you're being hunted. And they do it first person.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry!
He does look a little bit more OG, and I'll get into that. It's so freaking terrifying.
Come on, come on!
Jeez. Well, that is just freaking terrifying. It really is. But yeah, he does look a little bit more OG than the Arcane Warwick, and I'll get into why. And I hope that my reasoning, it makes sense, and that's actually the reason why he looks more OG. But Arcane Shadow, a post-explosion timeline. So how is Warwick still alive, right? We saw him fall and explode in the hit animated series Arcane at the end of it, which means they're both dead. No. The hit animated series Arcane strongly implies the beloved father figure Vander is the man who becomes Warwick, which is not even like implied, it's pretty confirmed. The final shot, it is confirmed. The final shot of him in Singe's lab at the end of season 1 is a chilling foreshadowing of his fate. However, compelling evidence, both Arcane season 1 and season 2 XKO voice lines suggest that the fighting game takes place after the show's conclusion. A climactic scene from season 2 trailer shows both Warwick and Jinx surviving a massive explosion, seemingly confirming their survival and continued story. This is from my video. You can see
she's gonna be worlds away, but she's always with her. And when this first hits, Warwick and Jinx and the bomb in her hand all...
Okay, so you do see the flash of purple.
First hits, Warwick and Jinx and the bomb in her hand.
I think I'd freeze it anyways.
Right? But if you freeze right when the explosion
that's
happens,
the purple of
you see
Jinx.
This flash of purple out of the corner. That's Jinx zipping away. That's her usual. Anytime you see Jinx do her really fast motions, there's always a trail of purple. This is that trail of purple. She's getting away.
Yeah, and then you see another little flash of... Okay, you see that little flash of gold too? I never noticed it, but you can see in the top left here, that little piece of gold. Right above like where I'm showing the picture, there's a little flash of gold.
That's her usual. Anytime
Watch.
you see Jinx do her really
there's a
fast
flash of
motions,
purple to the right, see the flash of gold to the left. That's Vander.
Getting away.
You see that flash? So there's two flashes, not one. There's also Vander who's getting away there. This sets the stage for a specific voice interaction in 2XKO, which almost certainly references this event. Here's Vander, well, Warwick, and I put a timestamp in there so you'll be able to see it.
Powder. Together. Again.
Just don't go disappearing in any explosions this time, okay?
Okay. That voice line right there alone tells us that this is post-Arcane, and she's talking to the same Warwick that was in Arcane, the same Vander. This is the same character. One, they have history, and two, she's telling him, don't go disappearing in any explosions again, okay? What explosion is she referencing? Definitely not the first explosion where Vander almost dies in season 1, right? Because that one, he doesn't disappear. He's lying there dead. The only one he could possibly disappear in is the last explosion. That's the one Vander shows up in and Vander survives in. Powder, together again. Just don't go disappearing in any explosions this time, okay? And this video is by Pantheon Bakeries, by the way. This one.
Powder. We... Blood!
Aw, I love you too, Wolf Dad.
There's a couple more.
Aw, who's a good little wolfy dad?
Good. No. I am not good.
Can I still call you Vander? I don't really get the whole Warwick thing.
The name has no meaning to the monster.
Yeah, there's a couple more of these, more voice lines but the most important one is that one. Don't go disappearing in any explosions again. Jinx's line is critical. Vander didn't disappear in the first explosion that killed Milo and Clagger. He seemingly died from his wounds. Her warnings here point to a more recent shared traumatic event, likely the one from the trailer, from the season 2, where they both nearly disappeared. This positions the 2xKO Warwick not just as a transformed Vander, but as the version who has endured the full saga of Arcane and emerged even more monstrous, yet with a flicker of his past self intact. But why does he look so different? Why doesn't he look like Arcane Warwick? Well, if this happened post-Arcane, right? Maybe he was inside the sumps of Zaun, inside Zaun, getting more, ingrained within the caustic chemicals of Zaun, that over time, he kind of reverts to this more traditional Warwick that we see in League of Legends and in 2xKO now. He doesn't stay like this. After all, at this point, Victor is no more. Victor's not there. He's gone. So who's to say that Warwick running around, coming in contact with all these chemicals in Zaun, doesn't kind of slowly revert to the traditional Warwick that we see? So I think that over time, this Arcane Warwick running around in the sumps of Zaun does become more closely aligned to the original Warwick, which is a good thing. I prefer the original Warwick. I think that the Arcane Warwick was a bit too gold, a bit too shiny. I like the gritty one with the claws and stuff and sewn onto him, and the green alchemical rage running through him. That looks more promising to me. And who's to say that even between this, that Singe didn't pick him up again, find him in the sumps of Zaun, and begin work on him one more time. From the Rift to the Arena, abilities in 2xKO. Warwick's gameplay in 2xKO is a faithful and brutal translation in his kit from League of Legends. His core identity, a relentless life-stealing hunter, is perfectly captured. Let's break down the key parallels. So there's Bloodlust and Eternal Hunger. In League of Legends, Warwick's is loud. Let me lower this a little bit. It's very loud. In League of Legends, Warwick's passive Eternal Hunger heals him on hit, with the healing increasing dramatically when he's low on health. This theme of growing stronger as the fight gets bloodier is the core of his 2xKO Bloodlust ability. As Warwick lands hits, his Bloodlust gauge fills. Once full, he gains access to powerful new specials, faster movements, and the ability to heal recoverable health. And you can see that here. He eventually gets Bloodlust. So the more damage you do with Warwick in 2xKO, you eventually get this Bloodlust ability, and it builds up over time. There's also Eternal Hunger passive. That's the League of Legends ability. Same thing. So he's hitting, and if he's lower on health, he's able to recover health. So just like the build up over time here and him being low on health, this kind of builds up and eventually gives him the rage. There's Feral Feast, Rage of the Beast, and Jaws of the Beast. Warwick's signature bite is the staple in both games. In League of Legends, his Jaws of the Beast Q is a lunge and a bite that heals him. 2xKO splits it into two moves, a charged headbutt, Rage of the Beast, and a healing maul, Feral Feast, that is only available during the Bloodlust state. So this is Feral Feast. Right? This is Rage of the Beast, I think. Yeah. And then there's Jaws of the Beast in League of Legends, which is where he jumps forward and bites. And you can see that jump forward in both of these. Leap forward there, and then leap forward here. And then there's Blood Hunt. The essence of the hunt is Warwick's identity. His Blood Hunt W in League of Legends passively marks low health enemies, giving him massive speed boosts towards them. In 2xKO, Blood Hunt is an active super, and he sees him relentlessly pursue his target, perfectly capturing that feeling of being hunted by an unstoppable predator. So, I mean, he's not going to be able to run around the map in 2xKO, so it just makes him like an unstoppable force towards the target, instead of like a random low health target, right? I would have liked Blood Hunt to be able to pull in a low health target. I thought that could have been cool. Like, whoever's less health on the team. So if you try to swap and Warwick, you're playing against Warwick, well, he can pull in your partner into the fight and swap you guys. But I don't know, maybe that would have been more difficult. Like him kind of hunting the low health target. But this is Blood Hunt, and you can see like he leaps forward, and then there's the ability starts. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And there's the Blood Hunt in League of Legends. You can see like him chasing the target that's low health. Then there's Infinite Duress. Warwick's ultimate Infinite Duress is his most iconic ability. In League of Legends, it's a massive skill shot leap that suppresses an enemy while he mauls them. In 2xKO version, it's a direct homage, serving as his level 3 super, where he leaps and unleashes a flurry of brutal slashes. Yeah. And then this is Infinite Duress in League of Legends. So pretty similar, just like the buildup of it is a little different. A cinematic nod. This is, guys, it's like 1-to-1 the tie here. Riot Games often rewards longtime fans with subtle nods and references across their games, and Warwick's ultimate in 2xKO is a prime example. The animation of his Infinite Duress is a direct shot-for-shot recreation of his iconic pounce from the 2017 Eye of the Beast cinematic for Wild Rift. It's such a nod to Wild Rift, it's insane. This attention to detail not only looks incredible, but also connects the gameplay directly to one of the most memorable depictions of the champion. It's a fantastic homage that bridges the gap between lore, cinematic, and in-game mechanics. So I'll play this for you. Here. Here, this is his ultimate in 2xKO. You see him run on the walls, jumps down, does that, right? Very like, there's a couple steps there, you know? Zooms in on his eyes, they're all red. This is Eye of the Beast champion trailer. This is for Warwick and Wild Rift.
Begin report on subject number 1088. The transformation is nearly complete.
This is Singe talking.
Effects have been gruesome.
His eyes turn red, right? And so that's how the cinematic starts. I'll lower this a little bit. He's running on the walls. He leaps in with the moon behind him again. Like it's pretty, very, very similar. The jump and everything. Still hunting criminals. Warwick's a good guy. Even as this beast, he's a good guy.
A creature of pure instinct, efficient, unstoppable.
Eyes turn red, and look at this scene, this shot here. That's the shot that I want to leave it at. So now, I mean, really, guys, look at the Wild Rift cinematic and look at the 2xKO cinematic. It starts with him, his eyes turn red at the very beginning, right? All right, zooms in on his eyes, they turn red. Here, same thing. He starts off, zoom in on his eyes, red. Smells the blood. Here, they're about to go red. Boom. His eyes turn red. And then the cinematic starts. First thing you see, he runs by that little whatever alley. Same thing, literally the same thing here. He runs by that little alley at the beginning. It's hard to even get it. It happens so fast. There, he's running by the alley, and then here, running by the alley. 1-for-1 shot. Right after this, he starts hopping on the walls. And then he leaps up and does his dive. Go to the 2xKO ultimate. He hops on the walls, ends up doing his little dive. Same thing. The only difference is it's the moon in this one, and it's like that glass from a building in this one, and in the League of Legends Wild Rift one, it's the moon. Which makes more sense. He wouldn't be high enough to freaking get the moon behind him. And then it ends with this shot of him killing these guys. Like that shadow figure. There's like it's like the silhouette of him on the wall. And the 2xKO one ends the same way. Silhouette of him on the wall. And it's like literally almost the exact same pose. It is the exact same pose. And look, the same exact shot of this guy getting flung back. This time it's Darius. I mean, that's 1-for-1. Exactly the same. It's absolutely a nod to Eye of the Beast. The Howl of the Beast. Warwick enters 2xKO as a perfect fusion of a narrative depth and gameplay identity. He is the tragic monster of Zon, the lost father figure of Arcane, and a relentless rushdown fighter. Every claw swipe and savage howl is a testament to the character's rich and painful history, promising a truly visceral experience for players who dare to unleash the uncaged wrath of Zon. I think they did a great job translating him into 2xKO. The way his abilities work, the way the build up to Bloodlust, and the way he has certain abilities that unlock once he has Bloodlust and he kind of builds up over time. The only thing that I do wish is that his ultimate kind of pulled in the lower health character, like he was still hunting them, but that he lunges towards them is still pretty cool. But yeah, Warwick is now in 2x KO. Check him out if you have a PC. I would do it. Yo, thanks for the follow. Hi, your stream honestly has such a good vibe. I know you are focused, but I had to say you're killing it. Yo, no, that means a lot. Thanks, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Honestly, feel free to cut me off with nice words like that. I appreciate it.